What's up, guys? This is Foxy101 here, and welcome to. Oh my god. It's Foxy101 here, and welcome to Spooky Sunday, guys. I'm trying to rename it, so the Sunday thing. So even though no one has commented, I'm just gonna rename it probably tomorrow. I don't know. Probably figure it out. Okay. But welcome back, welcome back to Spooky Sunday. That's what we're gonna call it right now. Still, we're trying to rename it. I was thinking of renaming it of like Scary Night on Sundays or Saturday. But let's get to it. Our first video is gonna be True Scary Imagination Friend Story Animation. And this is by Wansi Entertainment. Alright? Now, let's see it. First video.
I have a sister who got married when she was 18. She had a daughter named Susie. Her husband was unemployed. She had to work 2 jobs to support herself, her daughter, and her husband. Every day, she left the house at 8 a.m., and she only returned around 8 p.m. every night. Around this time, Susie had an imaginary friend. She told my sister it was a little girl named Jessica.
Okay, that's what we read on the...
Susie would talk about her all the time. My sister even overheard her talking to Jessica. It creeped her out, and after a while, she told Susie she was forbidden to talk about the girl. We weren't allowed to mention Jessica when we came over to visit. One day, Susie told her mom, Jessica is mad at you because you don't believe she's real. She comes to play with me when Daddy closes the closet door after you leave, and he lets us out before you come home. My sister had no idea this was happening. Her husband was supposed to be watching Susie during the day. Instead, he would lock her in the closet with a box of cereal and leave her there all day.
Wait.
When my sister discovered what was going on,
wait, she was put in a closet?
The poor little girl spent so much time all alone.
Oh yeah, she was put in the closet.
That she had conjured up an imaginary playmate for herself.
Because of like her playing with her the imaginary friend.
She decided to move out of the house they were renting.
I mean, some kids might have an imaginary friend.
When the moving van came, the old man who owned the house came over to help them. He was talking to my sister and said, I was always worried about your little girl on those basement stairs. My granddaughter fell down those basement stairs and broke her neck. She died in front of the closet down there.
Oh, that's not good.
When she heard that, my sister got the chills. What was her name, she asked. It wasn't Jessica, was it? The old man looked at her and said her name was Jessica. She was only 4 years old. She couldn't say it properly. She was only 4 years old.
How
did you know that's how she said her name, Jessica? How did you know?
With that hair.
My sister was in denial. She told him she didn't know what he was talking about. She refused to talk about it, grabbed the last of her things, and left the house for good. Even today, we're still not allowed to talk about Susie and her imaginary friend, Jessica. My sister remarried a few years later, and Susie got us a great new stepdad. But Susie, when we speak alone, she always brings up that little girl and what she looked like. And it still creeps me out to this day, because I don't really believe in that type of stuff with ghosts and paranormal. But there's no way that Susie could have known about that little girl.
It's the granddaughter. Oh my goodness.
Maybe they are real.
What?
Maybe not.
Oh wow. I mean, I kind of figure it was the granddaughter that died. I think her name was Jessica. Yeah, it was Jessica. Wow, I didn't expect that. I mean, it was noticeable, but alright. I mean, it's I mean, we're not ending this video, so yeah. On to the next video. Okay, guys, this is the next video. The night shift. This was like last week, so it says Easter special. So yeah, it just says night shift, and it's by Animated Horror Flicks. Yep. By the way, YouTube, if I get copyrighted, I blame you because I'm trying to do the show. Okay. So there's the next video. So this is the next video. Let's begin. The night shift. Sometimes night shifts are scary. Sometimes
I don't usually hold back when it comes to talking about my job, which was working security at the sub-level of a local hospital.
Oh no.
You'd be surprised to know how common break-ins were
Why
at
does
that
it have to
place,
be at a hospital?
which usually ended up being a couple of junkies trying to get high on some of the weird chemicals that were being kept in the labs. It started out as a regular graveyard shift at work, but I'll lead in with a curious backstory regarding the doors that led to the morgue. In order to keep the place more sanitized, they had recently installed sliding doors that would automatically open if someone passed in front of them, thus removing the need to touch any handles or doorknobs, and prevent anyone from leaving the doors open by accident. Hygiene played a major role at that morgue, and it had been on the agenda for the past few months. There wasn't anything really unique about the sliding doors, except for the fact that they would sometimes open and close by themselves. That by itself didn't seem like such a big deal, since this could have been caused by something small such as a moth flying in front of the sensor. Until one night, I realized that it would always happen at the same time. Every night, at exactly 3 a.m., the doors would open for a few seconds and then close. I was convinced the doors had been programmed with some kind of time-based trigger, but when I contacted the company that installed the doors, they told me that it wasn't possible since the doors were designed only to open when the sensors were triggered or forced open manually. So it continued without any explanation for a long time after that, and became sort of a ritual for me and my co-workers to watch the doors open and close on the monitors every night. Usually there would be at least 2 guards on duty, but that night I ended up working the graveyard shift by myself because the other security guard suddenly became ill and there wasn't enough time to find a temp who could fill in at such short notice.
Okay.
Just to be clear, I had been working as a security guard for a long time, so I was no stranger to danger, and I wasn't worried about working alone at night. Besides, the work was pretty straightforward. All I had to do is make sure all the doors were locked and secured and keep a close eye on the monitors. There were only 2 cameras, one overlooking the control room and another one at the other end of the corridor overlooking the entrance to the morgue.
Alright.
As the clock approached 3 a.m., I did what all the guards on duty would do. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Although the novelty of seeing this phenomenon had long worn off, it was still something I would anticipate and would often give me the chills,
like I always do,
seeing how it was the entrance to the morgue and that you could sense a sudden rush of cold air every time the doors would open, even from the other end of the corridor. I watched patiently as the doors opened, followed by the howling rush of cold air that could be heard from under the door.
Oh, my voice cracked.
It was when I glanced away from the door and looked to the monitors that I noticed something strange. The doors remained open. At first I thought it might be a glitch with the monitor and I was simply looking at a frozen frame,
open for that long.
But then I saw the lights flicker.
Oh, lights are flickering.
I waited for a few minutes, but it soon became clear that I would have to head on down to the end of the corridor since it was strictly prohibited for the doors to the morgue to remain open. As I stepped out into the corridor, I acknowledged a significant drop in temperature, which I knew was going to get considerably worse as I approached the morgue.
What?
I gradually made my way down the corridor and turned the corner that ultimately led me to the sliding doors. I had hoped that the doors might have closed by the time I got there, but just as I had seen on the monitor, the doors were in fact still open and the camera was functioning normally. I tried waving my hands in front of the sensor, but to no avail. The doors would not budge.
Oh wow.
I reluctantly contemplated my next option, which was to test the sensors from the other side, requiring me to enter the morgue. But I decided to take a look around first to see if I could observe anything out of the ordinary. Only when I turned my back to observe the corridor did the doors finally close, which was quickly accompanied by a cold chill in the air. I could feel an overwhelming sense of someone standing right behind me as the hairs on the back of my neck began to spike.
That's creepy when one of your hairs is like standing up and you get the chills. I really hate that.
But it turned out to be more of the same eerie silence as before. Since the doors had already closed without having to actually enter the morgue, I considered myself fortunate and hurried back to the control room to make sure nothing else was out of place. I closed the door and locked it from the inside, and for a moment I was expecting it to be business as usual as I sat back down in front of the monitors. But after taking a quick sip of my coffee, I realized the coffee was stone cold.
Oh wow.
Not just lukewarm as you would expect, but genuinely chilled. I hadn't been away from the desk for that long, so it didn't make much sense at all.
Yeah,
But then I remembered that I had felt that same chill before at the other end of that corridor. Out of curiosity, I decided to rewind the security footage back to when I approached the doors to see if I could spot anything out of the ordinary, which is when I witnessed something that I simply couldn't explain. There was a girl standing in front of the doors behind me. I couldn't really make out her face due to her long black hair.
It reminds me of one of
that was a stark contrast to the white
that character
gown she was
design
wearing.
reminds me of
She just stood there staring right at me and then walked towards
one
the
of the
exit.
characters in
To this day, I can't
movies.
explain it, because I had just been there and I hadn't seen anyone.
The Ring.
It was when I checked the other camera overlooking the entrance to the control room that really sent a chill down my spine and still gives me nightmares to this day.
Oh! Oh my goodness.
When the lights came back on, it was as if nothing happened. The door to the control room was open despite being locked from the inside just moments before.
What?
Due to the mysterious power surge, most of the data on the drives had been completely corrupted. But some of the security footage did survive, and I've been holding on to it ever since.
What?
I guess now would be the time to ask yourself, do you believe in ghosts?
Oh, I do believe in ghosts. But for me to believe, like really believe, is to see it. Well, not see it in person.
Folks, if you want to see the footage from the camera overlooking the entrance to the control room, please help this video reach 5,000 likes and I'll upload it to my Instagram account. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please share and subscribe if you haven't already and smash that like.
That's it. Oh, wow. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I really like the animation. Oh my goodness, my voice cracked. So, the animation on this is actually pretty cool. Wow. I did not. I mean, goodness. Oh wow. Okay then. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be. My goodness, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like really weird. Oh man. On to the next video. Alright guys. Oh, hold on. Bad. Alright. So this is the next video, which is called 20HZ. I don't know what that is. This is by, you can see it on the bottom, Crypt TV, bro. Man, I love these guys. Now, I think it might have this oh my goodness, I can't speak. This might have some gore in it. In my opinion. I mean, I never saw it, but let's just watch it. Alright. Let's do this. Boom. Human hearing is capable of detecting sound waves between 20 and 20.000 Hz. Oh, come on, I didn't get to.
Begging you to let me go, don't leave me in a fight. If I'm alive after tonight.
Oh.
Begging you to let me go, don't leave me in a fight.
It's thundering. For some reason, I want to go back and read it.
If I'm alive.
Let's just watch it first. Once we're done, we can read it. Oh. It's just the rain. That's what you think. Oh no. Oh no. I hope you guys saw something in back because I was focusing on her for a second. I want to go back for some. Okay, I'm just gonna go back. Oh, it was nothing. Never mind. It's so creepy that you can only hear the things like never mind. Is there like a creature that's making like a noise? It's the panda. I suspect this panda. Oh, I saw that. I saw that. Watch it be behind you. Right next to you. Someone in the dark? She's gonna hear something like. Oh my goodness. Yo. Oh.
Watch new vids every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Only on Crypt TV.
Yo, go support them, guys. If you guys already support them, that's fine. Yo, that was creepy. Oh man. Well, that I didn't expect that. Oh man, that was creepy. On to the next video. Alright guys, this is gonna be our last video for today for Spooky Sunday right now. Still trying to rename it. So, on to the video because this is true quarantine score scary story animated. And this is by IMR Scary Tales. Now, let's get into it and hope it's scary.
Subscribe to IMR Scary Tales and watch spine-chilling horror stories almost every day. And don't forget to click on the bell icon.
Do what he says. Go subscribe and support it.
I've been staying in my apartment in Jersey City during this coronavirus epidemic. My roommate has since gone home to Ohio to stay with her family during all of this, so I've been in the apartment alone. I've been mostly just watching new movies and shows. I try not to go out too much because my city's pretty bad right now. A couple of days ago, I was running extremely low on food, so I had to make a mandatory grocery run. I went to the nearby Trader Joe's wearing a mask and gloves, which considering the insane line and the limited stock, turned out to be a good idea. On my walk back home in the dark, I realized the streets were even quieter than they were the last time I went shopping, just a week before. Suddenly, out of an alleyway, some guy wearing a mask and gloves approaches me. He had a baby, wrapped in a hoodie and a small blanket in his hands.
Oh no.
He seemed really sincere, and asked me to let him take his son to my apartment real quick, so he could change his diapers and feed him his food. He swore to me that he was clean and that he just really needed this favor for 5 minutes. It seemed like an emergency, and hearing the baby's little cries and the fact that this man even had a child with him, it just seemed really sincere, and the soft part of me agreed. I let him into my apartment building. It was only a short walk from there. We walked up the 3 stories to my apartment, and I let him inside, asking him to close the door behind him. I cleared a spot on the living room table for him to change his child's diapers and whatever. When I turned around, I saw the man snooping around in a strange way. He'd gone into my kitchen to do God knows what. I called over to him, letting him know that I'd set up the table for him to use. He didn't answer. I started getting confused. I walked into the kitchen and saw him looking around suspiciously. But what really confused me was the fact that the man was holding what I thought was his child with just one hand. It took me a second to realize it wasn't a child. It was just a baby doll wrapped in a blanket. One of those realistic ones that can make crying noises. He looked at me and suddenly pulled a gun out of his pocket. That's where things went from 1 to 100 real quick. With a gun aimed straight at my head, he said something like, "I'm gonna take what I want, and you're gonna stay in my sight." Of course I had to say okay. I wondered if it could be a BB gun with the tip painted black. But even if it was, I doubt if I could have overpowered him. I couldn't risk it. He pulled out a big black bag from his backpack and filled it with valuables.
Bruh, really?
My wallet, some of my roommate's jewelry, kitchen valuables, my brother's Xbox, and my iPad. It was sickening to watch, but I was more scared of him pulling the trigger of that gun. He filled his bag and threw the fake baby in it as well. And then he left. I called the cops first thing. They came and helped me get in touch with the building owner to check out the CCTV footage. Of course, it didn't help him much, since his face was covered by a mask, making it near impossible to even discover who he was. All I can do is urge everyone to be careful. Don't trust anybody. Stay indoors until
Yep.
all of this is over.
Yep. Yeah, guys, stay safe. Oh, yeah, guys, stay safe, guys. Stay safe, guys. Stay inside. Hope this is over. Yeah. Trust no one while during quarantine. Or like quarantine from the outside. Stay inside, wash your hands, and be safe. And be careful. Yeah. So guys, that's it for today. I have no words right now, so yeah, I'm still gonna rename it. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hook that like button. If you guys are new around here, please subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you never miss one of my videos. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.